Today we're going to do a lesson on expressing and interpreting remainders. So our math message is 3 students share 13 sticks of gum. How many do they each get? So we could draw 3 circles and fill in until we get to 13. And we end up with 1 left over. So as our lesson stated, we've got to figure out what to do with our remainder. That's what this whole lesson is about. So we're going to do different things with the remainder with each of the problems that we look at today. But for this one, since we're talking about an item that is something that we would eat or chew on, like gum, what are we going to do with it? Well, we need to make sure that each person has an equal share. So we're going to draw a picture, and we're going to divide that into 3 sections, which will give us 1/3 in each section. So there were 3 people, so that means that each person would get 1/3 of that stick of gum. So they will get a total of 4 1/3 sticks of gum. So today we're going to solve division number stories, and we're going to decide how to interpret the remainder. We're going to express that remainder as a fraction, a decimal, or we're going to ignore it. So here's our first problem. 4 brothers are given 35 fruit bars. They agree to share the bars equally. How many fruit bars will each boy get? So we're going to make 4 circles, and we're going to figure out how much or how many fruit bars each person would get. And when we do that, you'll notice that we have 8 in each circle, and we have 3 left over. So what are we going to do with that 3? Well, I'm going to divide each bar into 4 parts because there's 4 brothers. So that means that there is 1/4 in each section, and each brother is going to get 1/4 of each of those bars. So they would get a total of 8 3/4 bars in that problem. Here's our next one. 4 people split the cost of a $15 present equally. What is each person's share? So this one has to do with money. So we might not use a fraction in this case. Our problem would be 15 divided by 4. And I like to think of it as multiplication. 4 times something is not going to give me 15, but it'll give me something close to that. The closest is 3. 3 times 4 would give me 12. So I'm going to have a remainder of 3. So when we're thinking money, we wanted to think of a dollar and think we're going to divide that dollar into 4 parts. So 4 parts would be 25 cents each. And we would end up with $3 3/4 of a dollar, or turn that into a decimal, it would be $3.75. Our next problem is 3 children wish to divide a set of 16 toy cars equally. What is each child's share? So we could divide that into 3 circles and place cars in each of those circles until we use the 16 that we have. We would come up with 5 in each circle, and we would have 1 left over. So our original problem was 16 divided by 3, and in this case it's going to equal 5. Technically remainder 1, but we can't divide a toy car into 3 parts. So in this case, we would ignore the remainder. Here we have Anne has $18 to buy notebooks that cost $4 each. How many can she buy? Our problem is going to be 18 divided by 4. When we divide this out, it's going to equal 4, and we're going to have a remainder of 2. Now, that means that she has a remainder of $2. She can't buy any notebooks with that $2 because the notebooks cost $4 each. So in this case, she can only buy 4 notebooks, and we're going to ignore the remainder. In this problem, we have George, who has 29 photos. He can fit 6 on a page in his album. How many pages will it take to fit them in this book? Our problem is going to be 29 divided by 6. And we're going to actually get 4 with a remainder of 5, or 4 5/6 as our answer. Now, that means that we have 5 photos left. So what do we do about those 5 photos? In this particular instance, we actually have to round up because we have to place those photos somewhere. So he's actually going to need 5 pages. So you really have to pay attention to the question and what it's asking you when you think about the remainder and determining whether you're going to ignore it, whether you're going to round up, whether you're going to make it a fraction, whether you're going to make it a decimal. So really pay attention when you read the question and figure out what they're asking you. So to summarize, we learned about remainders today and how we can express them. And we learned that we can express them as fractions. We can express them as decimals, especially when money is involved. And sometimes they are ignored. We also learned that if the remainder is written as a fraction, that the remainder is the numerator or the top number of the fraction, and the denominator is the divisor or the bottom number of the fraction. Thanks for watching.